Hi everyone, this is Lynissa Hayes with Makers Avenues. Today I'm back with some spring mini-verse makes again. This here we're using the nature series, and we'll be doing a few of the spring, what I call Easter capsules, even though they're not specifically for Easter. They just give, some of them just give Easter vibes. So I'm going to start off with this koi in a fish bowl. And with these, you want to make sure that you layer everything, put it in layers, like multiple layers, because these fish bowls are, they hold a lot of resin and they'll take a lot longer to cure if you don't do it in layers. You're going to see what happens a little bit in a few minutes. But I'm just attached the plant using a little drop of resin, and I'm going to come in with my layer rocks. You don't need to use all the rocks. I feel like it'll take up too much space. So I'm going to save some of my rocks for a different project. And I'm going to come in with some resin, put it on top of the rocks, let that cure. So that way I'll have like a nice even platform. And I'm just spreading around just to make sure that it gets all into the nooks and crannies and crevices. And like I said, I kind of want like an even base to begin with. And then I'm going to cure that. And now I'm going to come in with another dollop to put my little koi on, and then cure that so that he's not moving around when I put the resin in. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about. So I should have did this in more layers. I didn't. Like, I should have did like little shallow layers, but I did not. Now, some people would try to get rid of all the bubbles. I didn't really do that as much because it's a fishbowl. I don't mind if there are bubbles. So it wasn't that many, but here's the problem. I didn't let that cure as long as it needed to. And since I didn't do multiple layers, I got resin coming out that kind of seeped and I spilled on my hand. If that happens, don't use water, use rubbing alcohol, and then clean that off and then go wash your hands. That's what I did. But because there's so much resin, you got to let it cure a lot longer, a lot longer. So here we go to my Easter bunny coconut cake. I thought it was so cute, but I feel like to really advance this, I wanted to make a 2-layer cake. So lots more fun. So I found these little foam cylinders. I want to say Hobby Lobby or maybe Michael's. I can't remember where. One of those places. And so I feel like if you like making cakes, this is like great. You could get a package of these small little cylinders and you could use it to create different tiered layers. I use them for different projects. But yeah, so now I want them to have a pink base. I know I'm going to cover it with resin and the coconut, but just so painting it pink just makes it better, so that way when you know, if you don't get a full coverage with the coconut and it peeks through, you don't see the white and the mismatch of colors underneath. So just giving it some uniformity and painting it pink. And I just use hot glue to secure the top base to the bottom base. And yeah, this just gives it some added dimension. Of course, I'm going to, as you can see, I'm already doing my own thing. I'm just going to stab that cake with my needle tool, just so it'll be easier to hold, and it doesn't bother me with the hole in the middle because I know it's gonna get covered up with a lot of stuff anyway. So now you know my big kind of thing. I don't like to put resin as the base because I know, like, if some of those sprinkles were to fall out, there's a good chance that what's the resin underneath is not going to be fully cured. So instead of using the resin as a glue, I'm using glitter glue, and it adds sparkle. Now, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but after filming this, I thought about it. I was like, oh, clear glue. So if you don't have glitter glue. You can use the cheaper option and just go get some Elmer's clear glue, and that'll be a good adhesive. And then once you have that on, then you can come back of a top coat of resin to make sure it all stays in place. So that you could do that. Now, so I'm going to spread that glitter glue, and I love that glitter glue. I use it for a lot of different stuff. It's really glitter plate paint, but it works great as a glue as well. And it kind of gives you like a little bit of sparkle in areas where, you don't get sprinkles all over the place. It has a nice little sparkles. So my first layer is going to be that coconut layer, and now I'm just going to come in and take my resin, and then I'm not going to put too much. I'm just enough to spread, so that way my sprinkles won't fall all over the place, because you know how sprinkles are. You know how, yeah, I didn't want it falling all over the place. And so then I'm just going to do the same process all around the cake. And I love this little spatula for this. It does the job. So here you see me kind of double dipping, and I'm breaking my own rule where I'm using the resin as an adhesive. Sometimes I do that. I guess because I can't always make up my mind of the best way of doing something or sticking to something. So yeah, don't ask me why I'm switching back and forth, because sometimes I just do. It's okay. It's okay. It's not that serious. So now I'm going to put my little bunny ears on the top, and since it's foam, I'm going to poke holes with my little needle tool. And oh my gosh, that's so cute. To make sure they don't move while I don't, before I don't want it to, I'm going to put some use glue gun to make sure it's attached. And then I got this sprinkle set from Michael's. So, they probably still have, I'm pretty sure they're going to still have their Easter stuff out. So I would, if you can get it, I feel like they got a lot of new products that you can use for whipped and Miniverse creations and decadent creations, and I kind of been going ham. So I got these cute little Easter bunny sprinkles. They're kind of in the kids craft section, and there I'm going to put the little button pom-pom bunny tail, and I'm just going to use my glitter glue, and I'm going to go around this cake and add my little bunnies. So now I'm to the bottom of the cake, and now I'm giving me a little cute cake decor. The glitter glue is enough to hold the bunnies in place. Like, they're not going to really fall off unless you're just rough with it, but it's not going to really fall off. So I found that the glitter glue was enough. So I'm just going to go around the circumference of my cake and just, put them in a nice colorful order. And oh my gosh, the cake is already so cute. I love this cake. I would eat this cake if it was real. I feel like I need some more baked goods, but I love desserts, but I like fresh baked good desserts, but I don't feel like baking. I feel like I need a state of an art kitchen to really bake how I want to bake. And I guess that's why I like doing the any cakes or desserts. Those are always my favorite types of Miniverse, because I can live vicariously through my Miniverse creations. I just can't eat them. So So I like to decorate. I think like there at one point I wanted to be a cake decorator, but then I was like, wait, do I really like baking the cakes? Not really. I more enjoy decorating the cakes. So I feel like that's why Miniverse cakes and desserts and all this stuff suits me more, because it's just decoration. So now I'm going to take that frosting, that pink frosting, and kind of breaking my rule, but I'm going to use that to attach the nose and the eyes, and I'm just going to add that top layer to be frosting, because I like the color of the frosting, and I think it'll add, I like the icing color, so that's what I want to do. And I'm putting that on the side, and those little balls that also came from the glitter mix is from Michael's as well. And I thought those would be nice embellishments that I could put around the cake. So you can really do a lot with the sprinkles you find. These aren't real edible sprinkles. They're just like glitter sprinkles. And so now I'm just going to take my resin and go around the whole rest of the cake. And oh my gosh, I love the way this turned out. It's so cute. And I will show the rest of the, my camera was dying, so I had to stop for the day. I'll show the rest of the results later in the video. Now we are to our Easter milkshakes. Of course, I remixed these as well. I like that it came with 3 lollipops. I only used 2 lollipops, but I'm going to keep the other one for something else. Who knows? And now I am coming in. Well, before I come in with that resin, I wanted to again use my glitter stuff from Michael's. But at first I was gonna try to use the bunnies, but then I was like, it didn't look right. So I'm just gonna use the little ball beads instead. And yeah, I didn't really like the way that looked in that type of glass. So I'm going to take that out eventually, but all you have to do is like put spread some resin on the inside of the glass, and that way you can make sure that any type of glitter or whatever or anything that you put in, it'll stay on the glass surface, so it doesn't get hidden by the resin. So I'm going to put my balls in, my little beads or whatever, and I'm going to kind of spread them where I feel like they should go, so they're at different levels on the cup. And I'm sorry that some of this is out of screen. And then I'm just going to cure it like that before I come in with my actual resin milkshake drink. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I just spread it out randomly. I'm not really thinking too much about it. And just like the other one, I'm going to cure it. And then we'll come in with our resin milkshake and pour it in. And I love it, like I said, this way, when you do it like this, you can see what you added to the resin because it's on like the outer sides. So now I'm just use the little flame to get rid of that bubble. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal if I didn't, because I was going to cover it up anyway, so you wouldn't have seen it. So now I'm going to come in with my lollipop and with the straw. And at first I couldn't decide if I wanted to use the whipped cream, the plastic whipped cream. It's cute. It has sprinkles on it. It just doesn't sit right in the cup because, there's other stuff in the cup as well. And then I was like, I couldn't resist. I had to pull out the Decadent Whip. So now Michael's, again, like I said, they have a lot of new products for Decadent Whip, specifically for Decadent Whip. It's kind of in the children's section, and you could use it for a lot of different crafts. So they have this pretty pearlescent pink one and pearlescent white one. It's more like see, look at it. It's gorgeous. And I hate that the camera is losing all focus. So I use that instead. I piped some whipped cream topping, and it's just so beautiful. And now I wanted to make it more Eastery. So I'm taking the same sprinkles that I've been using and just randomly place it into the whip cream. Oh, gorgeous, love it. And then I got this little cute flower, which was in another set. And yeah, so Michaels has a lot of new glitters and these like clay beads or whatever in the kids section. That would be great for any type of mini-verse creation. I'm also going to be doing some other crafts where I'll be using it. I've been making a lot of jewelry lately. I even made myself these piped decadent hair clips, which came out so cute. So that'll be in another video once I finish filming it. So if you're interested, just to show you how you can use all these stuff in different ways. And I do want to start making some more like smaller miniverse stuff so I can add it when I'm doing these keychains or barrettes or decadent creations. So here's the ham from last year. I've been at this ham, but I never got a chance to do it last year. I got distracted by everything else that was coming out. And I think this was like right before they did the recall thing. So this is from the old resin. It's hard. The bottle is so hard to squeeze. So a tip, if you have a hard time squeezing any bottle and you want to make sure you get all the resin out, use pliers. That's what I do. And just taking the seasoning, and I love that little spatula. It's just so fun. Using that little spatula to season the turkey is so fun. So, I mean, not turkey, ham. So, I would have loved the Easter ham. Ham is like, we usually reserve the ham for Thanksgiving. And so that's like the only real time that, like the whole year that I get ham is during Thanksgiving. But I love ham. I would eat ham a lot more. I mean, I eat it for like, lunch meat. But it's not the same. Like I'm saying, like a fully cooked ham. Those picnic hams are so delicious. I would eat them a lot more, but my mother doesn't do ham like that. We don't really do a lot of pork, period. But ham and bacon are just, I'm always going to eat that. So I would love an Easter ham, but no, we ate hen, which got overcooked. But one thing I don't eat, I don't like pineapples or cherries on the, I know a lot of people cook with it. Like even when I go to other people's house for Thanksgiving, they usually got pineapples on it. I just take them off because I don't really like my hams to be, I'm not really into the sweet and savory. I just want the savory. I either want sweet by itself or savory by itself. I don't like them together. So I don't like fruit on top of my meats. So that's just me. So it was at this point when I realized I could have made my life a lot simpler if I just used the clear glue to try to attach the pineapples to, because again, I didn't want the resin to be underneath the pineapples, uncured. And then I was like, oh, I could have just used clear glue, but I didn't have clear glue at the time, but I do now. So again, tip, if you just want to adhere stuff so it's not moving around, but you don't want to put resin underneath because you want to make sure it's fully cured, just use clear glue. There you go. And I'm putting in the cherries in the middle. And even though I don't eat pineapples or cherries on it, this was looking oh so gorgeous. It's so cute. And it was giving very vintage vibes. And when I was looking at this, I was like, oh, this looks like those vintage recipes. I don't know why I had this thing for buying those vintage recipes books like Better Homes and Garden. Like if you go to half price books, you'll sometimes see like different vintage recipe books. And I don't know why, but vintage food is so fun to look at because half the time it looks so gross. Like, why would you eat that? But it's so colorful. So I just really, and I think, this made looking at this ham and the colors and the pineapples and the cherries on top made me think of that. And I was like, it'd be cool to do a series of like vintage mini-verse recipes based off of vintage foods. like this little bowl that also remind me of the vintage recipes. So I may do that one day, look through my recipes and try to make vintage inspired recipe, because like I said, the food looks so gross but in a cute way. Like I would never eat that, but it just looks cute. So I just love those books. I don't know why. Would I ever eat that stuff? No, but it just looks cute. So now I'm making my deviled eggs. Something else that I never eat. I don't like deviled eggs. I don't. Or potato salad, or I don't like anything where you're mixing eggs with mayonnaise and pickles and whatever you mix that stuff with. It's just so. But I thought this whole thing was cute. I'm not gonna make it how it is in the picture. I wasn't thinking of, well, actually, when I was making this, I didn't have the little booklet by me, so I forgot how it looked in the first place. I was like, why are they including peppercorn and cheese with this deviled egg-ish? I never remember seeing anyone, putting peppercorns, like whole pieces of peppercorns and cheese into deviled eggs. But then I forgot, oh, they did that because it's supposed to be like little chick faces. So it's supposed to look like little chicks to be mimic like Easter. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. After I saw it, I was like, oh, that's what it was supposed to look like. And it was cute. But for this, we're going with the more realistic approach to deviled eggs. Like I said, I don't eat deviled eggs, but I was just going with what I know. So instead of using the little filling, which you totally can, this way just gave me a bit more satisfaction, because I wanted to look more like real deviled eggs. A lot of times people like to pipe it to create those cute little swirls. So that's what I did. And this is a little bit just like piping it. It's just so satisfying. So I'm gonna see if I can get some more of the deviled eggs. Even though I don't like to eat them, it was just fun to play with. And eggs are expensive, so we might as well have some fake eggs. Enjoy and live vicariously right now through the fake eggs. And the piping there didn't 100% completely satisfy me. So just going back in, use the toothpick and swoop it out and try it again. And then I'm going to come back in with my seasoning. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. It's so freaking cute. The tray and everything. I'm going to come in with my paprika seasoning, whatever, and put a little with my hands. I knew it would be crazy to try to do, just pour from the bottle. It would have gotten all over more seasoning than I wanted. And then I'm just going to tap the rest of it out. And there we go. So here is the final look of all my creations. Like I said, I want to do a couple more spring remixes. Like I'm going to try my hand at a carrot cake, because carrot cake, that's my jam. Even though I haven't had it in a minute, I love carrot cake. And these and then the ones I mentioned earlier. So here's just a better look at all of them. I love how everything came out. And now that I thought of it, I need to write that idea of vintage inspired miniverse. That'd be cool if they made a series, but they're busy. So I'm just going to have to make my own remixes. I'm also thinking of doing some more Once Upon a Time remixes, because I finally found some of the Harry Potter rares, and I feel like I can remix some of those into Once Upon a Time stuff. So we'll see. And like I said, I have more craft videos coming out of different products and different things I've been making. And check out the Michael's Decadent products, because like I said, they got a lot of cute stuff that you can use for Miniverse, or just, for other fun projects. So I'll be coming out with that later. But anyway, I hope you had a good day, and I hope you had a happy Easter. And summer's coming, so I can't wait for all the new stuff that I'll be doing and creating and sharing. But if you like this channel, please hit like, leave a comment, and if you want, subscribe for more of this crafty fun content, and I will see you next time. You all have a blessed day. Bye.